Okay, I put the piece of mesh around the carbon and the wire as well, holding the mesh on, and the cells turned black after 45 minutes at 2 volts. So maybe the resistance is way lower now, and 2 volts is too much of a charge because the electrolyte shouldn't turn black. I think we're splitting the carbon. There's some fine bubbles coming out now. So the resistance would be way down on that cell. Oh, the camera's rotated. I just had to rotate that camera. Alright, so we'll disconnect the charger. Connect the data logger. Alright. Oh yeah, I think we broke the cell. It's only 0.9. And we'll see what happens. Right, I think wrapping the stainless around the wire, the carbon, may have, and the 2 volt charge, may have wrecked that cell. I was just wobbling the cell around. So the wire's not going black. I just check the charge voltage. Charge voltage is 1.9. Interesting. Maybe the gauze mat's not touching properly. Shouldn't be coated because it's used for toasting your bread when you're camping. This sort of fits in those sandwich making things with camp toasts over fireplaces. Alright, that's disappointing looking run. I'll get back. Okay, so that run wasn't impressive at all. It was 8 minutes. It got 14 milliamp hours and 8 milliwatt hours. The state of the zinc cell is, hang on, I'll turn the light on. Doesn't look too bad actually. And the membrane, hang on, wherever it is, maybe the membrane's ruptured. It's got some zinc floating around in it. There was this bit here, it could have broke. Maybe it goes all soft. So I've got a new piece of membrane. That's the cell itself. So the stainless looks okay. Can't see any blemishes in it. So what I'll do is we'll try what I think has happened. The carbon's floating around in the electrolyte now and it's shorting the cell out maybe. Just a guess. It's got to be something like that because I'm going to stick it in that tub. Put a new separator on it and see what we get. Okay, right. Connect it up. Okay, we're sitting at 1.6 volts. Wonder if it will do a run. I mean, 0.6 volts, 1.6 volts, so it's completely depleted. So I might connect it up to the charge again. Right, start the monitoring. Yeah, connecting the positive lead from the charger. Okay, we're straight up to 2 volts. 180 milliamps. Yeah, I'll charge that for about an hour or a little bit less. I'm just going to go out and I'll be back. And we'll see if it improves. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes and the milliamps is going, it's been 3 minutes and the milliamps is going up, so I'm going to turn the charge voltage down to 1.5. There's something going on. That stainless mesh changed the characteristics of the cell by heaps. Okay, 1.4 volts on the multimeter. If I can connect that to that. That's the charge voltage. And I think we're still increasing, so we're breaking down the carbon or something maybe. I'm not sure if I should go to 1 volt. Cell's starting to darken in that 3 minutes already. I washed that cell a little bit under fresh water before I put it in that electrolyte. And there was no black stuff coming out of the water. So it could be just too conductive now maybe. Milliamps is still increasing. Very weird. Voltage isn't going up or nothing. Oh no, the voltage is going down and milliamps are going up. Very strange. The cell could be totally cooked now or something because I stripped the layer of carbon off the side of it or something. Or having that much stainless, it's now thinking it's just a stainless and zinc battery. Very weird. You'd think it, the voltage goes up with the milliamps going up. It's like going into negative resistance. Not really. It's not super carbon. It's like it's discharging itself. Maybe I should drop the voltage more to 1 volt and we'll watch what happens. Okay, the meter's right on 0, I can't go any less. So it's 1.2, I can't adjust it anymore. And it's still increasing. I'm going to stick the probes on the carbon and in the electrolyte. And we're only 0.2 from the top of that carbon. Or actually, I'll connect it there. Point 0.3 touching the positive lead and the electrolyte with the probe. And we'll go the other way. And we're slightly higher touching the zinc and the liquid. Oh yeah, we've jumped up to 1.2. So I'd imagine we got 1.2 flowing through the cell. And we're still increasing in milliamps. Going by that. If I stop wobbling the cell around and the charge leads. Okay, so I'll leave it there and we'll charge it for about 30 minutes maybe. And are we still increasing or we've stopped increasing? No, we're still going up in milliamps. So it's more acting like an electrolysis cell or something. Yeah, it's slightly increasing because the amp voltage is just sitting there. What should be happening is the voltage slightly increases and the milliamps go down. Alright, I'll let it charge. Okay, the cell's been on charge for 51 minutes and 38 seconds. Nothing sort of happening. I think we just had an increase in milliamps again and flatlined on the voltage, it's not increasing. And pretty constant on the milliamps. I'm not sure what's going on with the cell now with that stainless mesh wrapped around the outside of it. And I think it's still trying to make that cell dark. And that other one's still floating around in suspension. That's been 51 minutes sitting in suspension. Interesting. Oh yes, we've gone down in milliamps. I'm pretty sure it was 30. 230. I think that voltage just went down too though. Strange. I don't think the cell will run very well. Okay, I just increased the voltage to 1.6 and I think I see the voltage going up and the milliamps is dropping. Yep. Alright, I'll leave that for 5 more minutes, see what happens. Okay, it's been on charge for an hour. and about 6 minutes at 1.6 volts. So I'll disconnect the charge. And it's going to drop right off, is it? Yep. So the cell may be damaged now, or something weird is going on with that cell. I'll just connect it to the data logger. I don't think it likes that stainless mesh wrapped around the outside of it. 1.8 volts. It's looking horrible. Maybe it's got a coating, but it shouldn't have a coating on that mesh because you put your toast in it. So here we go. 100 milliamp discharge after a disastrous sort of charging. Yep, no, not looking good at all. So what I might do is I'll try charging it again for an hour at this current voltage setting and see if it makes a difference, because the cell is looking pretty poor now. It was functioning beforehand, but not functioning now. So I'll stop that. Reset the grid. Okay, I'll connect the charger up. Okay, we're at 1.5. Alright, I'll let that go for an hour and we'll see what we get. Okay, back. It's been an hour and 25 minutes. I don't think the cell's going anywhere really. It's just turning the carbon into nanoparticles, I think. That's still suspended in liquid. Probably 3, nearly 4 hours on the first cell. So I've racked another batch of electrolyte. Expensive. Not really. There's 64 grams of zinc sulfate in that 200 mils. So yeah. Alright, I'll disconnect the charge. And I'd imagine the voltage is still down. Normally it sits at 1.45. Connect the cell to the other end of the data logger. Right. Okay. Alright. And do a load test. First I'll disconnect the monitor. So imagine if I grabbed that piece of stainless and wrapped around the cell the very first time I made that cell. I would have thought that cell was no good. But I've measured the resistance in the piece of stainless I used. You get 1.1 over from there to there in ohms. So it's got low resistance, but somehow it doesn't sort of function the same way as the piece of wire around the cell. Oh, amazing. Something so small and simple you'd think would just work because it's only like a contact. But yet it changes the characteristics of the cell. I wonder if the fine mesh doesn't let the cell breathe or something. After this discharges, I'll pull that piece of mesh off and then stick the wire back on. We'll retest the cell, see what's happening. It was working before I did that mesh around the outside of it. But yeah, quite interesting. I would have threw the cell out if I first wrapped that around there. Would have been like, "Bleh." Alright, I'll be back. Probably only get 8 minutes. Okay, I brought it out into the sun and it's actually like a green tinge to it. That was the first cell run. We have a bit of particles at the bottom and we have bubbles. See all the little bubbles bubbling up? For some reason it's reacting. And it's got circular motion going on. You would have thought that would have stopped bubbling after 3 hours or so. Okay, I've replaced that stainless mesh, but I think the electrolyte's contaminated or something because milliamps is increasing. So what I might do is wreck another bit of electrolyte and stick that cell back in some other tubs. I'll just do that now. Okay, the cell's out of the electrolyte right now. Okay, putting in the new one. See how it goes in that tub. Might try to push it down a bit more. Right, maybe the cell's damaged. Milliamps is still going up. There's something not right. Voltage is going down, milliamps going up. I think that stainless mesh just killed everything in that cell. And I noticed on the gloves it was leaving a, same as on the pliers, it's leaving that white sort of looking stuff. It doesn't normally do that. Alright, I'll give it 15 and see what happens. Okay, back after 15 minutes, I'll disconnect the voltage. We'll soon see the cell drops down past 0.9 volts. Okay. Right, we're back at 1.5 with no thing connected. That was a 15-minute charge. We're just wondering if the data logger would do a discharge connected to that side of the thingamajig. Probably won't, but it may. Yeah, maybe it doesn't, so I'll swap the ends over. That would have saved moving leads. Alright, got it connected. Okay, that's looking much better for a 15-minute charge, considering how it was responding before. Turn 2, lots of electrolytes, greenish black. This one's not changing colour. And that was the state of the mesh. So I have no idea what that mesh was actually doing to the cell, but it changed its characteristics massively, like Could be like chromium reacting or something in the stainless. Could be a very low quality stainless, but the magnet doesn't stick to it, so it must be like something like 316, I guess. So that's looking better. So what I'll do now is we'll charge it up for an hour and we'll see what it does for an hour's run, because I got records of the cell for an hour's charge. It should run for 45 minutes on an hour. Right, I'm so glad I didn't choose that mesh before I started the whole cell. It would have looked disappointing and probably would have just overlooked it. Alright, so I'll set this up for a charge for an hour and we'll get back. Okay, the cell's been on charge for 1 hour, so I'll disconnect the charge. Connect the other end of the data logger. Okay, we're 1.8. Disconnect the monitor and we'll start 100 milliamp discharge. Alright, that's looking much better. And no discoloration, no blackness coming out of the electrolyte like the other two substances. That's still bubbling. Whatever's going on there, it's reacting big time. See those bubbles? We got some sort of chemical reaction going on with the gauze matting. I think it's 304, I'd imagine. So don't use 304 in your cell, because you'll have a cell that just doesn't function well, as the results here show. Surprising, strange actually, just such a small little thing and bam, your cell's not working. Alright, I'll let that run. We should probably get about 45 minutes, maybe more, on the cell. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, we're at 1 hour for the cell. 102 milliamp hours and 117 milliwatt hours. 0.9 volts. So it's far cry from having that 304 stainless wrapped around it. So don't do that. It will be disastrous. This stuff's still bubbling away. It's reacting. Wonder what's going on in there. Alright, I'll be back when it runs out. Okay, just after 2 hours on run, we have 214 milliamp hours, 200 milliwatt hours, 0.6, and the average voltage is 0.93. So we're slightly up on the 1 mole version of the cell, and a bit better with the new stainless steel wire wrapped around it, instead of having that dirty one, which was I soaked the cell in zinc hexacyanoferrate with the stainless on. Don't do that either. Bad idea. Gets all dirty and probably loses a bit of contact. So not a bad run. I'll let it go and see what we actually get. Okay, we're coming up to its stopping voltage. It's at 2 hours and 42 minutes. We got a total of 269 milliamp hours, 230 milliwatt hours, and average voltage of 0.85, which isn't too bad. That was the damaged cell. It was sitting in that cell in the series test, which was the only cell that never changed colour to a yellow. And I think it was the stainless being soaked in the zinc hexacyanoferrate and being put in the oven, which blemished the corners where it was contacting on the carbon. So I've replaced that, checked the cell out, and I'll reconduct the 2 cells in series and 2 cells in parallel video, and we should really see an increase in its power output, I'd imagine now. So we'll have all 4 cells functioning the same Alright, thanks for watching. I'll post this and that will be it for this one.